Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Financial Insight Show. As part of our CFO series, I'm sitting down with someone special from one of the most high-performing companies on the Lusaka Securities Exchange. With me on this special episode is none other than the Chief Financial Officer of Zambia Sugar, Mr. Hezron Musonda. Hezron, how are you doing?
I'm okay. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, and thank you so much for coming to the studio to have a conversation with us. But obviously, Hezron is a fairly, new name in the CFO circles around Zambia Sugar. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Hezron.
I am Hezron Musonda, a husband and a father of two.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, Tanda and Wandi. Those
Okay.
are the names of my kids. So I went to school at the Copperbelt University, where I did a Bachelor of Accountancy. Then I also did my CCA qualification. And then later on, also I ventured into a master's in professional accounting with the University of London. I've also got a postgraduate diploma in banking and financial services. Yeah, so really that's about me.
Oh, wow! And then after that, what was your work experience like? Where did you?
Yeah, I first ventured into external audit, which I believe is a great place to start as an accountant. So I worked for KPMG, and then afterwards I joined the banking sector, starting out as a graduate trainee and rising through the ranks up to finance manager. And I was in charge of financial reporting, statutory reporting, as well as taxation. Before then, and that was at Bank ABC at the time, was privileged to have been part of the acquisition of Bank ABC by Atlas Mara.
Well,
and
that was significant.
Definitely, and later on, obviously, there was a major acquisition transaction with Finance Bank. I was very active from the beginning up to the end through that process. Before I then moved on to serve as a Chief Financial Officer at Bank of China. And then later on, again, I had an opportunity to join Access Bank as a Chief Financial Officer there. And while there, also I had an opportunity to consolidate because it was just coming out of another major acquisition transaction with the former Kavmont Bank. And then later on, within a short space, again got into another major acquisition transaction where Access Bank was acquiring Atlas Mara. And it was after the financial closing of that transaction that I left now to join Zambia Sugar.
Wonderful. You got that, sir. Now, this is very, very interesting because, most times you find that, CFOs are industry sort of, aligned. You're coming from the banking sector. Why switch to manufacturing, agri-food business with Zambia Sugar?
Of course, it calls for a lot of dynamism, so to speak, being able to adapt to dynamic environments, and I think that's what this has always been. But if you also just look at the reputation and the credentials of Zambia Sugar as obviously one of the leading sugar producers in the region, but also, in fact, the largest single cane sugar mill in Africa, I think that's a great opportunity. So to be part of such a reputation, to be able to contribute to its financial success as well as strategic growth, is obviously something that was very appealing to me, and hence the resolve for me to be able to join Zambia Sugar.
Obviously, you're a man who knows his numbers, and you can imagine you're coming into a role where, the CEO, Osod Magwenzi, has been in charge for like the last 3 years. One of the things that Financial Insight has obviously observed over the last couple of years is how they've been, ticking the box when it comes to, strategy implementation. What do you bring to the table in terms of, your experience? Obviously, you're coming in with a wealth of experience in money management, banking, etc.
Yeah, of course, landing in a space where Oswald has been focused on a very solid vision, supported by a leadership that is very experienced, is a great opportunity for growth. But obviously, I think my goal, and one of the things that I'm looking forward to, is the great contribution that I have to bring, and that will be in form of a lot of things. For example, I'll be focusing on optimizing the financial processes. I'll be focusing much on ensuring that we create a collaborative environment by offering business support to all the functions, so that we continue to build on the legacy of Zambia Sugar, but also we continue to be able to create value for all our stakeholders, including the shareholders.
Speaking of legacy, 3 years consistent performance. they're now 1 billion kwacha profit after tax. Those are some very big shoes to actually fill in. How do you then now, step into, the role and ensure that, one, the company is able to, continue with, its implementation of its strategy, but as well as, grow the investment that has been made in the, in the company? And also, what areas do you think that, you as CFO, you've identified as sweet spots, if I can call them that can continue to, build and grow value for the company?
Yeah, of course, among them is really, if you look at what the vision of Zambia Sugar is, being able to build a diversified agribusiness that is based at serving its customers as well as the consumers. In there, obviously, then operational efficiency becomes one of the key strategic pillars that are of significant focus. And my focus really will be to build on that, but also to explore other opportunities of diversification, because we want to build a diversified agribusiness. So diversification, exploring such opportunities becomes very critical. But also, we want to ensure that we continue to strengthen our commitment to sustainability, be it financial sustainability or environmental sustainability. And I think those are some of the areas that are of key focus for us, to ensure that we create a business that is sustainable, both for now as well as for the coming future, so that we continue to operate in a foreseeable future in a manner that will ensure that, one, we not only preserve, but we continue to enhance and create value for our stakeholders. Absolutely.
Now, obviously, Zambia Sugar is a blue chip company, 11 billion market cap on the Luce alone. There are obviously, opportunities that exist for the company, but then there's also, some challenges inherent when we look at, the macroeconomic indicators at the moment. We do understand that the business not only does sales domestically, but also internationally. Where are you seeing the opportunities for a blue chip company such as yours?
The opportunities are many. If you look at the capacity, for example, of Zambia Sugar in terms of sugar production, we have not yet hit the maximum capacity, the installed capacity of the facility. And so key focus, of course, is for us to be able to hit the maximum capacity, production capacity, but not only just getting to the max, but also being able to do it in a sustainable manner, so that we are consistently there. And obviously after that, then now you continue to now look at what other areas can you sort of explore for you to be able to diversify the revenue for continued growth. So I think that's why I see opportunities. Also, if you look at it from a regional perspective, the demand for sugar is quite significant, not only in Zambia. Yes, domestically the demand has continued to grow, but also from a region point of view, the opportunities are large out there. So we still have a lot of we do not have constraint on the demand side, but I think much of the constraint is on the supply side, and that's where our focus will be, including also considering options for us to be able to diversify.
That's very interesting. Now, obviously, Hezron, you're a couple of days away from the half-year results, your first half-year results. Tell us a bit about what the preparation process has been for you. You are working with a fairly new team, but obviously the mechanics of preparation for events such as this are pretty much the same. But what are you excited about as well for this particular presentation, it being your first one?
I actually, the whole process is quite rigorous, because you work across all functions, ensuring that you are able to identify the key performance drivers, ensure that the strategic alignment, and throughout that process, the main focus is really on transparency, accuracy, so that we're able to be able to communicate the resilience of the organization as well as its strategic adaptability. That has been the one of the main areas of great focus by the organization. So I think for us, it presents an opportunity. We want to be able to communicate effectively to our shareholders, to our stakeholders, to continue to build their confidence in the organization that has seen so many dynamics, be it economic, be it environmental. We have obviously the climate issue that we're currently grappling with. So for us, it presents us an opportunity for us to be able to communicate what, as management, we are doing for us to ensure that we build a resilient business.
Absolutely. And obviously, just as a bonus question, I'm just thinking right now, obviously, we've had the national announcement of the national disaster, etc. I'm sure that is obviously going to be in the back of your mind when you're doing the preparation of, the half-year results in terms of how Zambia Sugar, a blue chip company, is going to be contributing to assisting with that.
Yeah, definitely. I think one of the things, obviously, that we'll be speaking to. I don't want to preempt, of course, but one of the things is for us to be able to communicate to our shareholders what our current performance is, what we've been doing to prepare for such eventualities like the one that we're facing now, but also to give them sort of a preview of what the future outlook for the business is in the midst of the challenges that we have now from an environmental perspective in terms of the climatic conditions that we have now. And so that really is an opportunity for us to communicate to the shareholders, and we'll be very keen and we'll be very candid around that communication, so that we give them expectations that are not only realistic but obviously as accurate as possible. And that's one of our key pillars, is to ensure that we create transparency in our reporting to our shareholders who are very critical to us, but also to ensure that we continue to show that we are being accountable for all the operations of the organization.
Absolutely. On a final thought, you obviously have huge aspirations for the company. Tell us a little bit. Are you able to share with us what for the long term?
Yeah, of course, for the long term, like I mentioned earlier, is to focus on optimizing our financial processes. That is very key for us to be able to explore opportunities for diversification, because that's one of the key ingredients to risk management. And those risks obviously come from it could be the socio-economic landscape of the country, or it could be driven by the environment. So all those are some of the key areas that I'll be focusing on, but also to be able to build a very collaborative environment and being able to support the functions across, by ensuring that obviously then we protect as well as maximize on the financial resources of the organization. And that means obviously being able to work across various teams, and obviously with a key focus on what our vision is as a business going forward.
Hezron, thank you so much for joining us. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The CFO of Zambia Sugar has basically told us a bit about himself, as well as some of his aspirations. We look forward to covering the Zambia Sugar half-year results. Look out for updates from the same event on all our platforms at Financial Insight. This has been Mwelwa, your host for this episode, and get to know.